Today we are going to be looking at the history of vaccinations, and we are going to find out how they were invented and who invented them. So let's find out, and we're going to see all about a special person called Edward Jenner. So let's find out about him. So Edward Jenner was born in 1749. As a young boy, Edward enjoyed science and nature, spending hours on the banks of the River Severn looking for fossils. In 1770, at the age of 21, he began training as a doctor in London. 2 years later, Edward began to practice as a doctor in his hometown of Berkeley in Gloucestershire. During this time, people were terrified of a horrible disease called smallpox. People who got this disease got severe scarring and sometimes even died. As a doctor, Edward Jenner listened to what the country people said about smallpox. They believed that someone who caught a different mild infection called cowpox from their cows would not catch the much more serious smallpox. Jenner decided to carry out an experiment to see if the people were right. And in 1796, a milkmaid called Sarah Nelms came to Jenner complaining of a cowpox rash on her hand. Jenner took some of the pus from the cowpox rash on Sarah's hand. He scratched some of the pus into the hand of an 8-year-old boy called James Phipps, the son of his gardener. James fell ill with cowpox, but he soon recovered. Jenner then took some pus from someone with a dangerous disease, smallpox, and scratched this into James's arm. James developed a scab, but he didn't develop smallpox. Jenner guessed correctly. Jenner's discovery came to be known as vaccination, from the Latin word for a cow, vacca. Jenner went on to vaccinate all the local children with the cowpox to stop them getting the more dangerous smallpox disease. So that is a lot like now what people are having with their vaccinations for the coronavirus. It's exactly the same as how Edward Jenner did it back in those days. So let's have a look. Your task today is you need to use the information what we've just looked through to answer these questions. Okay? All about Edward Jenner. So the first part of your task is here. You have to look at these words that we've got on the side to fill in the gaps, okay, to make the paragraph make sense. So let's have a look at the first one. Edward Jenner was born in somewhere and then England. So what you need to look for is a place name, I think, but there, isn't it? So you are going to read through this on your own, and you're going to fill in the missing words to make it make sense. So let's have a look here. A historic hero, Dr. Edward Jenner, is one of the most important people in scientific history. Without his discovery of vaccinations, more than half your class wouldn't be here today. Did you know? By the age of 9, each child may have at least 9 injections to prevent 10 different dangerous infections. And a fascinating fact, vaccination comes from the Latin word for a cow, vacca. So, without this man, Edward Jenner, we wouldn't have the vaccines that we have today, which help us combat all the different diseases in the world. So what I would like you to do then, after you've completed your paragraph up the top, fill in the missing words, at the bottom you've got some questions. So, what was the name of the doctor who discovered vaccinations? What is the name of the deadly disease at the time? What was Jenner's idea to stop the deadly disease? What happened to James after he was infected with a cowpox? What happened to James after he was infected with a smallpox? And why was it important for Jenner to test his idea on James before treating lots of children? So your task is to answer those questions. There is also a link which is going to go with this for you to click on to go to the BBC site, and there's a video all about Edward Jenner as well, so you can watch that to help you. So once you've done, upload your work to Seesaw with your answers, okay? Try and do full sentence answers as well. Instead of just writing one word, what was his name, and this the name, write a full sentence. So it'd be, what was the name of the doctor who discovered vaccinations? The name of the doctor was, and then his name. Okay, so full sentence answers. So like I said, upload to Seesaw when you're done and I'll have a look. Good luck with it.